Hi everyone, and welcome to Teachers Talk Money, where I help teachers master their money in order to give back to themselves. Welcome back to our 12 months to get good with money series. Again, this is a series of bite-sized, teeny tiny steps to get good with money slowly over time. Let's recap what we've learned in the past few months. So in January, your first goal was to make a budget. In February, you set some savings goals. In March, you separated your savings accounts and made a plan for automation. In April, we talked all things taxes. In May, you learned the general concepts of investing and did some more research on the investment options available to you. In June, you actually created that investing plan. Last month, in July, you made a plan to spend less and save more. And now in August, we are talking about the flip side of that coin, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys about this. We're on goal number 8, and while last month's focus was all about cutting costs, today we're going to focus on the other side of that coin, which is earning more, which you have so much more potential to grow your net worth by earning more than you do by cutting costs. Earning more income will give you so many more opportunities and is a lot less limited than how much you can possibly cut your costs by. Plus, you guys know that I love being able to spend money on the things that add value to my life, and earning more is one way that really helps us do that. So we're going to talk about 3 different sort of things to think about when you're looking at raising your income. The first, of course, is raising your base salary, and there are many routes to get to this. For most people, the easiest path to this is through negotiation. Some best practices for negotiation is to keep all of the positive feedback that you receive, especially written, somewhere in your email or log it in a Google Doc so that you have it ready when it comes time to negotiate your next raise. It's also a great idea to keep a running list of all the things that you have done for the company to add value. When possible, using data on how you have increased revenue or decreased the time that needs to be spent on a project or anything like that is super useful. And another third great tactic for negotiation is to ask for a meeting with your employer and ask them in earnest what you can do to add more value to the company. Write these things down, start working on implementing different strategies to improve these weaknesses over the next few weeks, and then have a follow-up meeting with your employer talking about all the things that you have done to improve your performance in the workplace and negotiate salary based on that. Now, if you're a teacher, we unfortunately do not get to negotiate our salary, no matter how much value we are adding to the school building or our students. So for us, what we have to do is play the game of the salary scale. The first thing to do is to get to a different lane in the salary scale through education. For some of us, we can knock this out ASAP. I know as soon as I finish my more lengthy master's program, I'm going to get plus 30 and plus 60 as fast as possible. For others, you might want a more balanced approach. Just sort of make sure you have a plan to get to that highest lane. But also don't forget to look for the things that you can get recurring stipends for. For example, my district offers a recurring stipend either for a national board certification or becoming a teacher with a national teaching license. Both of these things you can get a stipend for each year if you earn them. So take a look to see if there are any certifications you can get where you can earn a recurring stipend. Now, for everyone, and I'm including you in this, teachers, almost especially for you teachers, you can't ignore the idea of potentially changing careers to earn more money, or simply changing positions in your current field. So for teachers, this could mean switching to a high-paying district. So maybe you want to stay in teaching, but you can move to a higher-paying district to earn more money. And sometimes this really is the best option, as hard as it is to leave the school building that you're currently in. It could also mean seeking an admin position if that is something that is right for you, and only if that is something that's right for you. But for everyone, including teachers, this might just mean using your transferable skills to go and work for another company or in a different career field entirely. Whether or not you're willing to switch companies or career fields, it is always good practice to make sure that you are updating your resume frequently. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is side hustling. This also encompasses many things, but this is basically just going to be earning extra income on top of your current income. For everyone, really easy to start side hustling through apps like Rover for dog walking or meal delivery apps or ride-sharing apps. These jobs outside of your current employment can offer a really good boost to the income you're making, but they can also be a lot of work, especially if you're a teacher and you're already feeling burnt out. So make sure that what you're doing is something that is not going to take away more from you. Maybe you love dog walking, and so doing something through Rover wouldn't even really feel like too much of an extra job or obligation to you. Choose something like that. Consider wisely if side hustling is really the best option for you, or if you're just trying to avoid negotiation or changing careers. For teachers, some other side hustles might include coaching or any club sponsorships that you could get stipends from. This is what I do as my primary side hustles. I coach a varsity sport and get paid not nearly enough for that. And of course, I am the newspaper sponsor, and both of these are positions I get paid for. They are extra work. So if you are already burnt out with your teaching career, do not do these. But if you are looking for other ways outside of the classroom to build relationships with students, and you have that stamina to be able to do that after the school day is over, it's a great opportunity because it doesn't really add a commute, still inside of your school building. Now we're going to talk about sort of, for me, one of the most fun things to talk about, but also one of the most ambitious ways to increase your income, and that is starting a business. This is something that you could even consider a side hustle on top of your normal career, but I do feel like with a lot of businesses, it's perfectly reasonable and awesome to have the goal of eventually turning your business into something that could replace your normal income. I personally think that anyone who's interested in doing this should start taking steps right away without the expectation that you need to make this amount of money by a certain date in order for it to be worthwhile. Because when you're starting your own business, it should be something that you actually like to do and is fun for you on top of your normal workload. For example, when I first started Teachers Talk Money, it was called rachelwrites.com, and it was just a really personal blog about my personal experiences, specifically mostly with finances and minimalism. And it is turned into a website and an Instagram page and a YouTube page where I've sort of built some really cool communities, made some really cool connections, and I'm continuing to grow my profits. I knew going into this that I wasn't going to make money in it for quite a few years, but that wasn't the most important thing to me. The most important thing was sort of having something that was for me outside of teaching, which can sometimes feel like an identity on top of a career. And so I really just wanted to feed into my other hobbies and help other people along the way with the belief and the self-belief that someday I can turn this into something that is truly profitable. When you're starting with your online business, don't expect to be able to quit your day job immediately if that is what your goal is. Just start doing what you're interested in and posting it to an online platform to begin building an audience. The need to start perfectly will probably stop you from starting at all. So start ugly and work towards improving it, because actually the way you get better at these things is not by sitting and thinking about the perfect way to start them. The way you get better is by continually producing content. So I am no true expert at the best or fastest ways to start an online business, but I am somebody who has been doing this Teachers Talk Money stuff on top of my normal job for 3 years now, and it's still something I really enjoy doing and still something that has a ton of potential for the future. So your goal this month is to create a game plan to earn more by using one of these 3 steps. Either A, increasing your base income, B, side hustling for somebody else, or C, starting your online business. A financial plan that only looks at cutting costs and completely ignores the potential to earn more is not a comprehensive financial plan. So do not skip this step. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the 12 Months to Get Good with Money series. Please drop any questions you have below down in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, all that great stuff. It helps me immensely and it honestly means the world to me. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week and I will see you next week. Bye!